Tom Brady enters the stadium. Just the same way Adam Vinatieri did, with the mass holes cheering for him. Now, Vinny did not get a Vinny chant or a Vinatieri chant. There was a Brady chant that went on for what seemed to be 4 or 5 minutes there. Yeah. Thank you, Tom. A lot of 12 jerseys out there, a lot of photos going on there. And I wondered, I was like, wait a minute, are they going to go, are they cheering for Tom this entire game?
Yeah,
that's what I started thinking.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Tom comes on the field for the first play of the game or whatever. The boos rain down from the heavens. Tom missed a couple throws. I do believe there are some things that potentially happened in there, but ultimately, in the end, Tom Brady got a chance to do what he has done so often, especially in Foxborough, lead them on a game-winning drive, kick a field goal, take a lead. Oh, my God, Patriots still have time. What are they going to do? Nick Folklore, the folk legend.
Hell yeah.
I had no idea he still had that in his bag, baby. Hits a 56-yarder off the left upright. Oh, my God. Even if he makes that 55 seconds, 2 timeouts, Tom Brady getting the ball in Foxborough. Let's assume we all know how that might have ended. But an incredible game. Let's talk about that, and then we'll dive into the rest of the week with the boys here at the Toxic Table at Boston Connor. I FaceTimed you a few times through that game last night. You were sweating bullets. You were stressed out. Even when the Patriots had the lead and it seemed like they were not going to get blown out, just whether it was scheme-wise or anything else like that. Last night was tough for you. It was difficult, but I feel like you lost the game, but I feel like mentally you won, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
My gosh. I'm so glad it's over, first and foremost. We don't have to deal with that, hopefully, ever again. Like you just said, I was expecting a 38-10, 38-3 absolute stomping of the Patriots. That didn't happen. Mac Jones had 19 straight completions. He played very well first primetime game. The whole storyline the entire week, too, was Tom versus Bill. The team played well. I honestly feel very good sitting at 1-3. We're the best 1-3 team in the NFL, probably ever, I would say. And now we got Houston next week. But the game itself was, it was a grinder. I never thought at any point there was a comfortable lead for either team. Even when the Bucs went up, I think it was 13-7, the Pats marched right down, scored 14-13. It was a great game. I'm just glad that we kept it close.
It was the best the Patriots have looked, I think.
Yeah, by far.
And I don't know if it's because of the heightened atmosphere. Did they let Mac do more, maybe because they needed more, they thought? Did they leave it all out there? I really enjoyed watching that chess match, which was actually happening, and it felt like, a lot of, hey, Tom, will you check down and will you run this thing? Will you check down, will you run this thing? Because of what they were going to allow the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense to do. And no, Rob Gronkowski's huge.
No.
That is absolutely huge. And the thought, though, that Antonio Brown catches that ball 99 times out of 100.
Yeah, at least.
It's an incredibly difficult catch. It's an insane catch. It's an absurd catch. But that is what Antonio Brown is on the football field. Incredibly talented, insane, and absurd on the football field. That is normally the case there. But there was a couple misses by Tom. And was that the scheme? Was that Tom? Was there anything like that? Was it the rain? Because he's used to the rain. Now, because it rains every other day in fucking Tampa. So that can't really be something. It was 60 degrees, so it's not that cold. So I think the people that were trying to make something out of the weather, I'm not sure Foxborough has seen rain that Tampa has seen on a regular basis.
No way.
In Tampa down there. But I thought it was a great game. I thought, I'm happy that Tom got the win. That probably felt pretty good, especially for the coaching staff down there in Tampa, who has, a lot of bruises and old war stories up in Foxborough. If Bill wins that one, that flight home is
miserable.
Very, very miserable. Yeah.
Tough.
And they're going to have to deal with that forever. But I thought it was a great slate of games. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Congrats to Tom Brady, who became the 4th quarterback to beat every single team in the NFL. Peyton was able to do it with Denver against us. I don't think it was the first time, by the way, though.
Was it Favre?
Favre was able to do it with Minnesota, and he was with the Jets, so I'm not 100% sure. Drew Brees obviously beats the Chargers once he joins the Saints, and that whole thing happens. But it's unbelievable, the career, the accomplishments. And at 44, he looks, dare I say, more athletic than he's ever looked.
Yeah.
Like, he's always been an incredibly athletic, smooth runner.
Sure. Oh, yeah. He's juked Brian Urlacher.
Yeah. Before he has done all these things. And then always, every time he's running, you think to himself, you think to yourself, that's a natural movement. You know, that running is very natural to him. That is what he wants to do. But with the TB12, pliability, Alex Guerrero at the house every single night, the dieting, him splitting the D and picking up that first down with that whole thing. Good for Tom. I can't wait to see how it goes, but I think both teams had to win that one. Now, all right, let's go around the NFL a little bit here and get your thoughts. Tom Brady beats Bill Belichick last night, Sunday Night Football extravaganza in Foxborough. Brady chants were echoing through the entire area of Massachusetts before the game began. Then they booed his ass as he came onto the field. Couple missed throws. Seems like the schemes that the Patriots are running where we're not going to make any mistakes. We'll let the Buccaneers fuck up. There was a couple of those. They inevitably get a win at the end with Ryan Suckup being the superstar, which, by the way, the Goat Bowl revolved around kickers. No big deal. Could have never guessed that would happen, just like every other big game, it feels like. But Tom becomes the fourth quarterback of all time to beat all 32 teams. AJ, your thoughts on that game?
Well, I was thinking of Gump throughout this whole game. I go, oh, this is a real cagey match. Like, there was so much hype and so much buildup that it never really got going, did it? Like, even I expected, okay, second half, here we go. Let's see what happens. But I think the elements were definitely a part of it. And, yeah, the Patriots' defense, that's what you mentioned before this game. Hey, Bill Belichick always seems to find a way. And the more impressive thing is that the guys know how to execute it. If you can switch your game plans up and change things and give multiple different looks, I'm more impressed that the players can actually execute it in prime time in one of the most anticipated regular season games we've ever seen.
And I think, although you just said you're impressed with the players being able to do it, like, I think the Belichick-led Patriots for the last 20 years have had expectations on the players like, hey, when you come here, this is what you're going to have to do. So the expectations have been set. The Patriot way is the Patriot way. The standard is the standard. Everybody says that. And Tom knew that going in. Allegedly, from my sources told me that this was viewed like a Super Bowl week. This was a big week down there by Tampa. Not just by Tom, but by the entire team. Hey, this is a big fucking game. Not just because it's the next game, which is the standard cliche, but because this is a game that people are going to talk about forever. This is going to be a conversation piece forever. And Bill Belichick knew that, and he said, I'm going to make this thing as boring as fucking possible. I'm going to drop 8. Everything's going to stay in front. They're going to kick field goals if they're going to beat us, and we can't make any mistakes. We understand that. Boring game in the end when it came to scoring, but every single little joust, I feel like we respected more. Every night that moved up and over, every single move, every open Sicilian play that was made on both sides of the plate was something I respected and appreciated. At Boston Connor, obviously our New England Patriot fan resident. You had a terrible week last week.
Yeah.
He's in a much different mood this morning. He feels good about what happened last night as a Patriot fan, as he should, I guess.
Big moral victory, right?
Yeah, big moral victory. Bill Belichick, you guys love this.